680's Richard Southern joins us now. Richard, it's certainly been a turbulent week for stocks. Did we need another seatbelt today or what?
Sure did. Another roller coaster ride. Strap in, Francis. The Dow actually was up 381 points, but gave up that gain to close down 19 points. So the stock recovery losing steam today. We had some of the big technology names lower on Wall Street. Apple down 2.1%, Microsoft down 1.8%. To put it in perspective, though, the Dow is still up almost 1% at 2018. TSX remains in the dumps, I'm afraid. Canada's main stock index heading lower today. It's down more than 5% on the year. We saw some of the medical marijuana names drop today. Canopy Growth down 4.1%, and a lower price for oil also took its toll on Bay Street. And finally, the Canadian dollar, Francis, continues to drop down to 79.5 cents US now.
So there's a reason why most businesses don't accept Bitcoin. You know, the digital currency is prone to major price swings. Imagine how many times you'd have to change your prices, right?
Yeah.
But one Toronto restaurant says, hey, pay for our food with Bitcoin.
Why not? Well, it's a big risk to take, though, but clearly this restaurant is. It's called Figures. It's on Avenue Road, and they say you can now pay for your dinner and drinks with the digital currency. I asked the co-owner why he would take such a risk if he wasn't worried about Bitcoin going to zero.
We are willing to bet, and in fact are betting, that it's going to go in the opposite direction. It's not going to hit zero. It's going to be or a part of the future of transactions.
But have you actually accepted Bitcoin for a payment at your restaurant yet?
Yes, we have. Just last night, actually, we took a payment there.
So how much was the bill?
The bill was $400 and change.
And they gave you then a fraction of a Bitcoin for that?
Correct.
So have you checked today? Have you made or lost money in the last couple of hours on that?
We made a little bit of money overnight, actually.
Did you sell, or are you going to hold it?
We're going to hold it.
Well, that's interesting. It's interesting that people are actually paying for some goods and services here in Toronto, Francis.
I mean,
Bitcoin.
as a small business, if he can make some money off of it too, right? By holding on to it, he's betting.
He is. It's a risk to take. Bitcoin is down 39% so far in 2018.
So there's a new report that finds traffic congestion is costing all of us in the GTA big money, but it doesn't have to be that way. There's new technology that can help ease congestion and the cost.
Apparently so. Toronto Region Board of Trade says congestion costs each household the average of about $125 a year, and that's because all the trucks going through the city, they get disrupted by the delays. But the board says it doesn't have to be this way. Apparently there's technology already available that uses cameras and sensors embedded in the pavement to respond to traffic in real time. So, for instance, eliminating the left turn signal if no cars are waiting to turn left. The report also recommends letting vehicles use the shoulder on the DVP.
I'm in favor.
That seems like a no-brainer. So you doing that during peak times and also, clearing accidents quickly when they happen. I heard you were slip-sliding all over the place on the York Bay Young ramp today, Francis.
It was a little slippery, it's actually the new one, right? And it's really steep. I don't know, I was looking for the jets to see if they would de-ice, but it was a little slippery. But I came in early.
Be careful. Lay off the gas a little bit, Francis.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very safe, Richard. Speaking about cars, so Elon Musk sent his personal Tesla, up into space. What an amazing launch, first of all, right?
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. And
we saw the dummy.
This video?
Yeah, we see the dummy there, but what else is in that car? So
it's been revealed today that in the glove box of this car that is floating around Earth is a copy of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I love it.
Apparently, Musk loved that 1979 novel by Douglas Adams, so he put one in the glove box. And on one of the circuit boards, it says, made by humans on Earth. As for what the Falcon Heavy rocket might mean to the space business, Francis, we heard from Mr. Elon Musk on that.
It's going to open up a sense of possibility. I think it's going to encourage other companies and countries to say, hey, if SpaceX, which is a commercial company, can do this, and nobody paid for Falcon Heavy, this paid for it with internal funds, then they could do it too. So I think it's going to encourage other countries and companies to raise their sights and say, hey, we can do bigger and better, which is great. We want a new space race.
How about that? We want a new space race. And by the way, his Tesla company just reported earnings a few minutes ago. Some big losses for Tesla as it looks to ramp up production of its Model 3 car.
I'm confused because if an alien encounters the car and meets the dummy, is that going to be their impression of humans? The dummy that doesn't move and is not alive?
Musk himself said, are they going to wonder that they idolize this car? Why did they send it up here? He said that, yeah. What are they going to think?
Well, we'll have to see what happens. So
Might be waiting a
Facebook,
while.
Facebook hired a pollster to monitor the public perception of founder Mark Zuckerberg and their chief operating officer Sheryl Sandberg. Why?
A full-time pollster. I guess he was worried about his image and how the public perceived him after the whole, Russia situation. Facebook under fire for the presidential election in the States. They revealed they failed to stop Russian-backed groups from buying ads. So hired a full-time person to keep tabs on what people think of him. And Francis, I actually heard from some of the executives at City TV today, City News, and they said the business report's so important to us. We want to see what people think of Richard and Francis. And I got my hands on the document. Look at this. We're not polling so well. Don't know who they are is polling very well.
I'm a 3. Well, that's good.
But apparently we don't have a lot of name or face recognition right now. We need to work on that.
Okay, well, we have our work cut out for us.
We do. I'm Richard. That's Francis. Hello.
That's me, yes. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Here's our second half as City News.